We're gonna eat the booty like groceries. It's your girl Emily back, and today the vibe is a little bit different to the other day because obviously we had a bit of a comical good time, have a laugh over it, and I don't want to make this one depressing. It's not going to be depressing, don't worry about that. But basically, if you've seen the title of the video already, this video is going to be my year on video from my body positivity video. So I did a video just over a year ago now, I think it was about a year and a half ago, talking about body positivity and cosmetic surgery. I wanted to do this year on video because the way that I spoke about myself in that video is not how I am now, if that makes sense. But yeah, so basically I spoke about how I was getting better and confident in myself, that I had my little things that made me feel good about myself when that was a load of cockapoo. That at that time I thought that I had all my shit together. I knew where I was, I knew what I wanted, I had goals set up that weren't really goals, but I really had in my head that they were goals. All the opinions in that video, I still have the same opinions. Like, obviously I'm still against, like, I'm not against it, it makes it sound horrible, but I'm not, no, I'm against it. I'm not a supporter of like cosmetic surgery and stuff like that, because I just think that we were made the way that we was, and this is how we are meant to be. But if you do want to change the way that you are, then fair play, go ahead and do it. Like, I even sat there and said that I have my nails done, I have my eyelashes done, I've got my crazy coloured hair, this, that and the other, which obviously you can see I don't have anymore. None of the above. I just basically wanted to talk more about the journey that has gone on since that video. Obviously I spoke about my friends that have cosmetic surgery done, like lip filler, jaw filler, this, that and the other, and they still continue to do it. Like, it makes them feel good, and I'm happy that it makes them feel good. But as I said in that video, I just wish it didn't get to the point where they felt like they had to do it. The one thing that I'll always love about that video is how much it helped people when I didn't actually think it would help people. Like, obviously I did it to get my opinion out there and let you guys know that the way that you are is actually so beautiful. Even though it helped people, it didn't help me. I was more lying to myself that, okay, I say lying to myself, I wasn't really lying to myself because I was on a journey of making my self-perception better than what it was, but I was being more of a hypocrite than anything, and that's what really bugged me about that video. I say I felt like a hypocrite after that video. I realised I was a hypocrite coming into 2020, because I genuinely thought I was at this place where I knew what I wanted, I knew who I was, I was loving myself, I was starting to really like my body and stuff like that, whereas really I just hadn't deeped it. So the real realisation that I wasn't where I wanted to be was when lockdown hit in 2020. So lockdown affected a lot of us. I'm sure it affected the whole freaking nation, the whole world if anything, and I think it's gone either two ways for people. People are, oh my god, look how much mess is in the back of this. Please excuse the KFC. I think lockdown hit people in two ways, and they either absolutely destroyed them and they just couldn't cope with it whatsoever, or you bettered yourself and you realised about yourself. For me, I feel like I had a bit of both and I'm sure a lot of people did as well. I came to the realisation in lockdown that the whole of my healing period from like being crushed by men and hating on myself for so many years wasn't actually a healing period, it was a block it out period. I used to go out all like every weekend, and in the weeknights I'd be around my friends till like 2 AM 3 AM. I'd come home, go straight to bed, go straight to sleep, wake up in the morning, go to work. So the constant, like around the clock I was always doing something, and in the back of my head I knew what I was doing. I was blocking myself out, leaving it to the back, keeping myself busy so I didn't dwell on it, think about it and move on past it. But I convinced myself to a stage that I'd move past it because I left it in the back of my mind so many times. Now it's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm over it now, I've forgotten about it, but I never actually did. I just blocked it out. And then when lockdown came and I wasn't able to go anywhere, I had no one to distract me, I had no distractions around me as it was anyway, it hit me like a truck. And I was just like, wow, I have literally been living a lie for the past 4 years. And I've been preaching to all these people like how you can help yourselves and how to make yourself feel better, when I've literally just been living a lie myself. So that's why I wanted to do this year on video, to explain how I moved on and how I got past it. So maybe it can help someone else again, because I know that the video I did before did help people. So when lockdown came, it was a bit of an awkward one because a lot of things hit me at once. So obviously the realisation of me blocking my whole life out. I met this absolutely incredible male who I literally fell for the moment I seen him, and we stopped talking literally just as lockdown had come in. So that hit me hard as well. So it was kind of, right, okay, you aren't the person you've been saying you are. I don't know how, I'm really bad at talking about this. I've always had an older mindset than my age, and obviously I was like, oh yeah, I know what I want, this, that and the other, this, my head's screwed on, like I'm proper, I know what I want, I've got these goals, I'm ready to grind, this, that and the other. I'm still like that, but I just wasn't. I thought I was some big woman, and I really was not a big woman. Like I look back at videos even from when I did them 2 videos in lockdown, and I look at them videos and I cringe, because I just think, that who is that? Like, that's not me. At the same time, I shouldn't beat myself up for being like that when I was only like 21, and I'm only 22 now. But every year you're gonna carry on growing. Even when you're 72 or whatever, you are still gonna be growing and learning new things about yourself. When it came to him as well, in some situations I was immature about it, and I think that's what made me realise. He gave me a reality check, so I'm also very grateful for that. So thank you, you know who you are. That gave me a kick up the arse to get into gear and actually sort myself out, because I feel like the first couple of months of lockdown I just felt sorry for myself. It kind of just clicked in my head. I think it's because I got used to being alone with my own thoughts, because before, if I was even sat there thinking about things that I didn't want to think about, I'd be like, right, I'm going out, I don't want to think about it. And then it was kind of falling back in love with myself as well, because just before lockdown I went from my absolutely colourful hair to going back to, well, I say normal hair, it was like 3/4 black and 1 bit white. But that even had a massive impact on me, because I'd always just hid behind my hair. It was always like, oh, she's got waggy hair, this, that and the other, she's so confident. So when it come with the hair, you kind of had to pretend to be the person that my hair portrayed me to be. Like I said before, like obviously I found other things that made me feel better about myself. Like I wear makeup in most of the time in my videos anyway. Like I didn't want to actually wear makeup when I did this video, because I just wanted it to be completely natural and real. But at the same time, like, I enjoy doing makeup and I enjoy putting makeup on myself, making myself feel nice, like especially in this lockdown where you constantly feel like shit anyway. Now that I've got my head in a better place, I see everything else as a brighter thing, if that makes sense. I found that the key to having a better outlook on life and stuff like that is your headspace. Like, just because you think you've got it all together, you have to be all together up here to get what you want. So I'm a very big believer in manifestation and putting it out into the atmosphere, what you want, and working towards it. Like, I'm very big on that, and I would always manifest things and ask for things to come true and want this and want that, and it was never happening, and I couldn't understand why it wasn't happening, because I was working so hard to get it. but it was because my mind wasn't in the right headspace. You can't be asking for something that your mentality isn't ready for, because obviously some people are going to be listening to this that really don't want to listen to your life story. At the end of the day, when you hear someone else say something and it triggers you to think, okay, maybe that's what's going on with me, it will help you move on to the next stages. Like, I was always so obsessed with like getting a man and having a man and someone there to be there with me and help me through things, whereas now I'm just kind of like, okay, like I don't need a man, like I can do a lot of things by myself. Like, I've grown into this woman that I really, really adore now, and I like the way she does things. And it's not even that I need a man now, it's like, do I want one? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I'm dependent on having someone there to latch onto. Like, I'm okay with being on my own now. If anything, I think I enjoy being on my own more than anything else, which is a blessing and a curse at the end of the day. Every experience I've had to go through, I would not change it. Like, I'm so thankful for the lessons and the blessings, really. Like, someone once asked me, if you could redo your life again, would you change anything? And at that moment I sat there and I thought, you know what, there's a lot of change, this, that and the other. But now I look back at it and I think, you know what, no, I wouldn't change a thing, because if I hadn't have gone through A, B, C, D, that wouldn't have made me who I am and the outlook I have on everything now. Another thing as well is that I feel like with the way that the world is at the moment, everyone feels like they're pressured and they have to rush into getting everything sorted. We really need to start normalising discovering yourself later on in life, having big achievements later on in life. Just because someone down the road from you is 22 and they've got a house and they've got a boyfriend or a fiance and having kids, and they look like they've got the whole complete life sorted out, fair play for them. They're at that stage in their life, that's how their life was meant to go. If you're later on in life, like, I don't know, like 28 or going on 30, and you're just getting your new house and you're just starting a business and you're just finally discovering yourself and going on adventures and doing things that you've always wanted to do, there's nothing wrong with doing that later in life. Like, go ahead and do that. Like, live your life. You only get one, so why not do it the way that you feels best for you? Just because that's how they want to live, like, that's how they want to live their life, doesn't mean you don't have to live yours the way that you are. Like, you're 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 40 and you're making big movements. Congratulations to you. Like, well done, you did it, you got there. It might have took you a bit longer than other people, but you still got there. You've gone through all the battles you've had to face and you're where you want to be now. Like, tap yourself on the back, feel proud of yourself that you've done it. Do you know what I mean? Just because it's a little later on in life, that doesn't mean a thing. Just because society is pressuring everyone and you gotta do this, you gotta have this by the time that you decide, you gotta do this, no, it is your life. Take the time that you need to take, make the mistakes you need to make, learn the lessons you need to learn, and do it when it's meant to happen for you, because that's when it's meant. You can't force it. All I'm saying is, if your mental space is not in a good headspace, then it's not going to work. You need to make sure that you are here, because here is so important. Little pointers I'd say is, stop distracting yourself. If you know that you're holding everything back there and you're pushing everything in your head to the back, just take your time. Like, maybe do like an hour of a day where you just sit down and you write everything that upsets you, that brings bad thoughts into your mind, everything that you've pushed to the back of your head, write it down so you can see it and you can sort through it. I once did this and it did kind of help. I feel like writing down helps a lot, because it's like you get it out. If you're not a type of person that wants to talk to other people because you don't want them knowing your business or anything like that, which is completely understandable, I find writing it down helps a lot because you're still getting it out. But someone once told me to write letters to people, to write a letter to myself and to the other people that have hurt me, or yeah, basically hurt me, or like clung to my emotions and stuff. That write them a letter of how they made you feel, any questions you want to ask them, stuff like that, and write it on a piece of paper, then burn it. So it's kind of like you read it out and you're letting it go. I know that's helped me before, and it's helped quite a few people. And obviously, always, if you need to talk to someone, there's a lot of people out there that will sit and listen. I always say it, that if you need someone to talk to and you want it to be a stranger, or I know you and you feel like no one's going to listen, I'm always open to listen, have a conversation with you, because I'd rather help you than you sit there stuck on your own, because that is the worst thing in the world, especially in these times as well. It's so difficult. So my DMs are always open. My Instagram, I always put my Instagram at the end of my videos, but if you do want my Instagram right now, it's here. But yeah, like obviously I'm always open to have a conversation with people whenever you need it. But I always find as well, even if you go for a drive with some music, it's so therapeutic. If you're a big music person, going for a drive with music, or if you don't drive, go for a walk with your headphones in. Like, a walk really does clear your head out. You've just got to get yourself right mentally and love who you are, because I found that I wasn't loving the rest of my body because here I wasn't right. If up here isn't right, you're negative, you're going to be negative about everything. Like, there was nothing wrong with me, do you know what I mean? My face was fine. Yeah, I've got a couple of spots, but hormones is what happens. And like, I didn't like my legs, I didn't like my bum, I didn't like my boobs, I didn't like my belly, I didn't like my arms. But of course, because up here is so negative, everything else I was seeing was so negative as well, and you can't help that if it's not right up here. Honestly, while we have the time in this lockdown, now is the perfect time to do anything you possibly can. If you want to start a hobby, start a new hobby. Why not? Do you know what I mean? Now you've got the time to sit back and go through everything that you feel you need to go through, and from this moment on, learn about yourself and explore your mind. Honestly, if none of this makes sense and you actually want me to talk about it a little bit more, I'll do another video, or just message me privately. But yeah, I hope you are all having an amazing day, have an amazing week, and please stay positive. But I'm sorry if I've rambled on and no one has actually understood a word I've said in this video. But yeah, I love you all. Thank you so much for your support on my last videos, everything like that. Make sure to share my videos, get it out there, like, comment and subscribe. It helps a lot. So yeah, see you later.